Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
A Fargo man is in jail tonight after the SWAT team swarmed his home early this morning. Take a look at your screen. Police found 3 firearms, around 10 pounds of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, possible heroin and meth, and about $6,000 in cash. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley joins us now live in studio with more on the man who was arrested.
Thanks, Andrea. Police arrested 19-year-old Muhammad Abdul Shahid for possession of marijuana with intent to deliver, among other charges. It all started around 7 a.m. this morning when police served a search warrant for an ongoing narcotics investigation. Police say the SWAT team was only there to secure the home because Shahid has a history of violence and weapons. The Cass County Drug Task Force, the DEA, and the Lakes to River Drug Task Force also helped in the search. I talked with neighbors in the area, and they say the residents have a history of causing trouble on the block, saying there's always different people coming in and out no matter what the time.
I just got up and I was making coffee and I heard a loud boom. Went to check out front, didn't see anything, came back to the kitchen and looked to the west and saw the SWAT team members with their guns staring up to the second floor. And then we just followed the action.
4 others were detained, but no other arrests have been made at this time. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Bailey. Fargo police also say more charges can be filed in this case. We're still quiet, but we're also still inching toward the heat and humidity. Hutch, anything to be worried about this evening?
Really, we have very quiet weather continuing after morning. Fog stuck around till the midday hour here in the FM area. 82 in Grand Forks and Jamestown, and we're still in the 80s here in the FM area with a lot of 70s in Lakes Country. Really comfortable temperatures with any showers and thunderstorms holding off to the western and central portion of the Dakotas tonight. It looks very quiet. We'll see partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the 70s for most of your evening. So perfect for that evening in the park with the kids playing a little baseball. It looks like quiet night in Grand Forks as well. The heat and humidity are expected to continue to build as we go through the week, and toward the big holiday weekend, we'll have some chances of some pretty strong thunderstorms as well. I'll detail all of that in your hour-by-hour forecast, Andrea, here in just a few more moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
Another major road reconstruction project is about to kick into high gear in Fargo. 10th Street North between 4th and 12th Avenues is about to get a big makeover. And today, crews are preparing for that on North University Drive. The deal is, a week from today, traffic that normally uses 10th Street will be detoured to North U. In other words, there will be two-way head-to-head traffic on University from 4th to 12th. So crews today are getting ready for that, installing temporary traffic signals and removing lane markings. And there is no short-term detour. Engineers say you'll be dealing with this until the project is done. The completion date is set for late September.
They're tired of the runaround. We can't get a clear answer.
Still closed. A government bureaucracy still hasn't figured out how to open a bridge that crosses the Red River 3 years later. The Nielsen Bridge has been a point of contention ever since it literally started to crumble. A hole was found in the bridge deck in 2015. Today, no solution in sight. Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin looks into this whistleblower tip and learns why it might take the Supreme Court to decide who needs to pay up.
This week, the soybeans are going in. But now there's a familiar detour for some farmers here.
Anybody that's got land in Minnesota, they've got to go all the way around either to the Shelley Bridge, which is another 5 miles south, or the Climax Bridge, which is 5 miles north.
That's because the Neilsville Bridge, which used to offer passage across the Red River, is still closed.
And so it's a major issue.
Back in 2015, a hole opened up in the bridge deck. Minnesota officials said at the time they were hoping for a quick fix. Today,
we can't get a clear answer from anybody. Everybody is talking about the money situation that North Dakota's broke.
Minnesota is ready to move forward, but nobody on the North Dakota side is taking responsibility. Some say it might take a lawsuit to get things moving.
There's a lot of frustration.
That's Tiffany Abendroth. She's running for Congressman Kramer's vacated seat in the House of Representatives. She's from Cummings and says the way she interprets the law, North Dakota is breaking it.
Because the bridge is now shut down. And when Congress approved the act to make sure that this bridge was maintained, we have failed.
But those in charge see it differently. Traill County State's Attorney Charlie Stock was asked for his legal opinion. In an email, he points out the difference between mandated and authorized. He says the county is authorized to work on the bridge, but not required to. He also says that even though they weren't required, they did maintain the bridge.
No, that bridge was never maintained. If that bridge was maintained, there wouldn't have been a giant hole put in the deck.
These farmers don't have an appetite for litigation, but frustration is growing with the inaction of elected officials.
It might actually have to be brought to the Supreme Court of North Dakota for their final ruling on it.
Blockades on the bridge and blockades on the funding needed to open this road. From Traill County, Ryan Laughlin, Valley News Live.
The North Dakota Attorney General's office was contacted for their legal opinion on the bridge closure, but they say they don't offer legal opinions when an issue is likely going to court. As mentioned, this story was brought to us through our whistleblower hotline. So if you need help with an issue in your community, call us. 237-6576. You can leave your tip, and then a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. From helicopters to airplanes and fire trucks, there are all types of emergency medical services. And this week is the perfect time to say thank you. It's Emergency Medical Services Week, and tonight you can meet the men and women who are the ones responding to the sick and injured. FM Ambulance, Fargo Police, Sanford Air Med, and the Fargo Fire Department will all be at a family-friendly event until 7 o'clock at the address listed on your screen. Families will also get to see inside emergency vehicles like an FM Ambulance and the Sanford helicopter. The event is a way for everyone to meet the people who make a great EMS system in the community. If you're curious about all the different supplies that Essentia Health uses to make people feel better, you've got until 6 o'clock tonight to get over to their open house. It's at their new medical equipment and supplies facility at 3362 35th Avenue South in Fargo. The event is free and open to the public. You'll have a chance to meet the team there, tour the facility, and watch demonstrations of all the new equipment, including 3D orthotic and prosthetics.
One of the services we provide is we'll do delivery service within 150 miles, and people are so grateful for that. We've had patients offer us tips. We've even gotten thank you cards from patients. So many patients were really glad that we can help make a difference in their lives.
Chamber ambassadors were on hand for a ribbon cutting ceremony this afternoon. A startling new report says more kids are dying in lakes, oceans, and ponds than swimming pools. And with a lot of you heading to the lakes for Memorial Weekend, what do you need to know to keep your kids safe? Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has more on what you can do and what caused the significant change.
Over 1,000 fatal drownings happened in 2016. That's the highest number in 5 years. And it's not happening here so much, but on open water, like lakes and rivers.
They kind of just get in, get used to the water.
Carson Keller has been swimming for most of his life, and he teaches kids of all ages how to swim themselves. Carson, like most people in this area, have a lake home, so he says he's no stranger to open water.
We covered things such as treading water and what to do in an emergency if you're with a group. Kind of how to float on your back with a life jacket if you're ever stuck in that situation.
But he says everything taught in class can be taken to the lake. And he recommends that every parent gets their kids enrolled in a class.
The sooner the better, I would say.
Kenny Knutson has 2 kids. He tells us he's enrolling them in swim classes because...
So he doesn't drown, I suppose.
So why the significant jump in drownings on open water? Safe Kids Worldwide says it's because there are a lot more hidden dangers than in a pool. But before we scare you from heading to the lake for Memorial Weekend, the report has some advice you can follow. It says to make sure your kids know how to tread water and float for about 30 to 60 seconds. And the report agrees with Carson. It says to make sure your child learns how to swim before going into unpredictable waters. In West Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
The Safe Kids Worldwide also suggests using designated swimming areas when possible, and watch your kids closely when they're in the water.